So, mastery. Why is it so important to create mastery in your life and everything you do? Let me give you an example. As I always use chefing and cooking as an analogy of what I do, I used to be a top chef, and let's say you and I would go in the kitchen and we start cooking the same recipes, and we start with slicing onions and chopping them very fine. Because I've done it before many times and I'm good at it, I can do it faster than you. I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to think how to hold a knife, where to put my fingers in order not to cut myself and to keep the onion very small. Most people, on the other hand, would have to look at their fingers, how to hold a knife, and be very careful and slowly chopping the onion. When you have mastery in something, you stretch time, because there's certain steps you don't have to take. So whilst we are both chopping the onions, I can think about the next step. What do I need to do? And that goes for everything in our life. When you've mastered the subject, you can stretch time, and so you can think more about what you need to do, and certain steps you can let go. I realized this when I was a young chef and I was working for someone in France, in Lyon, and the chef was called Paul Bocuse. Paul was about 63 by then, and he was traveling the world, and he had a kitchen with about 25 or 30 chefs. And always on his return, he would come through the back door, walking into the restaurant and going to his house. And one day when he came back from a long trip, he walked through the kitchen and didn't say a word. We all greeted him. And about half an hour later, he came back to the kitchen and he spoke to the chef, and he was angry, because he saw that one of the big sauce pots, which probably could contain 100 liters, in the corner of the kitchen, about at least 20 feet from where he walked, was boiling. And when you make stocks or sauces, you should never let them boil. They should simmer slowly. And I never forget that. As a young boy, that made a big impression on me, how he could see those details from that distance. And that's really what it is about. Even in the Middle Ages, there was a system to create masters. You started as a student, an apprentice, and you went up the ladder. And there's about 7 steps, and at the end you became a master. And you had to do a masterpiece in order to apply to become a master. So in modern time, we have forgotten. But imagine you are a master at something. You can stretch that time as if there's more frames to do what you need to do. Then you can really create magic. Then you can see beyond. You're not stuck anymore in the simple things, thinking too much about how does this spreadsheet work? How do I need to do this? Where's that gonna come from? How do I chop that onion? Is this onion fine enough for that recipe? In business or life, it's exactly the same. When you're master at something, what would happen if you could stretch time and have more time for yourself to see what's going on and to create magic? Because that's what masters do. They are the ones creating magic. So ensure that you become the master.